What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Stock Holiday, right back at you again with the latest and the greatest in these cryptocurrency markets. Do me a quick favor, hit that like button, press that subscribe button. Now let's get into it. We got another day in cryptocurrency, another weekend that we are approaching. We've been seeing the weekends for cryptocurrency has been red. So we're going to see what this weekend presents to us. Currently, right now, Bitcoin is at $67,263. Not too bad. A whole lot better from $65,000 and a whole lot better than $60,000. But we're not going to get too comfortable. We don't know what direction that thing is getting ready to trigger in. Is Bitcoin getting ready to dip below $60,000, or was that our low? Was that the bottom, the $60,000? So we're going to hold on and continue to see. Bitcoin dominance is looking good to me. It's at 58.19%. Soon and very soon, we could really see a 57% Bitcoin dominance range. I think that right there is a little bit bullish to me, even in a bear market. Are we getting closer to being out of the bear market? Will this be a fast bear market? Fear and greed index is still low. We're in extreme fear. We are still in extreme fear, sitting at 12. Ethereum still below $2,000. $1,953, 10.21% dominance for Ethereum. So I've been taking a look at a lot of movements in the cryptocurrency world, and look like a lot of the selling has stopped. I don't know what that is a indicator of, but it looks like a lot of the selling has stopped. So is everybody kind of content right now? Those who wanted to take profits, are they okay right now? Have all the profits been taken that a lot of the long-term holders have been wanting? Are they cool right now? Are they content right now? I posted a picture of what my Bitcoin average was. My average is still in the $20,000 range, average price for Bitcoin. Some people average price for Bitcoin is $5,000. Are the Bitcoin holders content with the price that it's at right now? Have everybody taken enough profits? The long-term holders, the people who have been holding for 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, are they content with the profits that they have been taking over the past couple of months? Seeing Bitcoin go from $126,000 down to $60,000, you better believe that there was a lot of profit taken during that particular period, which is what caused the price to go down. So we know the core PCE data came out positive today. That could move the market up a little bit. The personal consumption expenditures report came out positive today. That could move the trigger in the stock market. First, the stock market was down, it was red. Then it pumped up green a little bit. Then it came back down a little bit. So a lot of movements is going on right now. We know the Supreme Court came out and overruled the tariffs. So we kind of have to see how that play out. Are they going to declare the Trump tariffs illegal? Um, how will that play out? How would that look? How will that affect the economy? We saw how the tariffs, when they were enacted, how it affected the economy, how it affected the stock market. Everything tanked. Everything went down and dipped. So now if we're seeing the overruling of the tariffs, will we see the opposite? Will we see the markets recover? We talked about the stock market, how the stock market has been moving. Um, the Dow Jones touched over 50,000 points. Will we see that continue? Will we see 51,000 point Dow Jones levels due to now the tariffs being overruled? If we saw it dip down during the tariffs movements, what did it dip down to? This thing dipped down to last year during the tariffs. We got down to, mm, here we go, 48,000 points, about 48,000. Let's see, what do we, nope, here we go. We got down to 39,000. We got down to 39,000 points during the tariff launch of 2025. We're 10,000 points up from that particular point. So what if we're continuing to scale up 51,000 points, 52,000 points? I heard somebody, I don't know if it was Donald Trump, he be saying some wild stuff, talked about 100,000 point Dow Jones reading. I said, whoa. But I remember when it was 19,000 points, nobody could never imagine a 50,000 points Dow Jones level. But that just goes to show the stock market continued to make higher highs. And that's why I'm so super bullish on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has been doing the same thing, continuing to make higher highs. And that is what we are to expect from the Dow Jones S&P 500 as well as Bitcoin. So those are two positive things. Core PCE reports were positive. The tariffs, a lot of pushback from the Supreme Court on the tariffs. So that's going to be excellent. Bitcoin miners seem to be coming back. So is that another indication that these levels are at the bottom? The $60,000 range, was that the turning point or the level that the Bitcoin miners say, you know what, that is where I'm ready to start back working. That is where I'm ready to start to turn my rigs back on. Let me go ahead and start back mining Bitcoin, getting ready to and prepared for the next Bitcoin all-time high. The miners turn them doggone rigs on. They get to mining that Bitcoin and running and running and running, because during the next Bitcoin halving, the amount of Bitcoins that can be mined will be cut in half. So this may be probably the last time that they can really mine and gather a bunch of Bitcoins at these low levels. Because once it get cut in half, that's huge. You're going to be using the same power to generate and produce half of the amount of Bitcoins that can be produced today. So we got up until 2028, April 2028, the next Bitcoin halving. I'm sure the miners are understanding that also. They're trying to gather and produce and generate as many Bitcoins as they can. Cost of energy is going up. The amount of Bitcoin that is able to be produced will be cut in half. That is huge. That's why we always talked about the supply shock in Bitcoin is huge, will always continue to be a factor. The scarcity in Bitcoin will always continue to be a factor. Do not overlook the supply shock, the scarcity. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins that can ever be in existence. That's going to be huge. Once people start to clamor and start to accumulate so many Bitcoins, people are going to say, damn, you mean it was $60,000? You mean I could have got Bitcoin at $67,000? Imagine, folks, when the price was $125,000, people were still buying Bitcoin. Imagine if you would have gave them the opportunity to buy it at $67,000. They would have said, where do I sign up at? How can I ever get it to get back to 67? Will it ever get back to $67,000 is what they were probably saying months ago when Bitcoin was $120,000. Now they have the opportunity to buy at $67,000, $65,000. Do you think they're in line buying right now? Probably not. What are they saying? I want to see it get to $40,000. 2022 all over again. I remember when Bitcoin was $21,000, people say, oh, I want to see it get to $16,000. I get to $16,000. You know what? I think I want to see it get to $12,000. Soon and very soon, you're going to miss your target. You're going to miss your opportunity. That knock, missing the knock, not hearing it, oversleeping, and time will pass you by. Once again, you'll be looking at $140,000 Bitcoin saying, damn, I remember when it was $67,000 in 2026. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Wish I woulda. Damn, how come I didn't? So we taking a look at cycles. We always talk about cycles. Bitcoin cycles are very important. Understanding where the bottoms could be. We know where the top was. That's confirmed. Now we're trying to understand where the bottom could be. Let's not get into all the trying to time the exact bottom. Nobody is a magician. Nobody has know what the history is going to be. Revelations, all that kind of stuff. So you just try to get close as you can to the bottom. That's why dollar cost averaging is the best technique that I've been using. The fundamentals of Bitcoin is still solid as a rock. The fundamentals of Bitcoin is probably the strongest that it has ever been. It's continuing to excel. The world is very acceptable of Bitcoin. It's crossing over to mainstream. It's continuing to cross over more and more to mainstream. Large institutions, billionaires, trillionaires, probably will have the first trillionaire, but these large institutions, these guys are really in bed with Bitcoin. I'm talking about countries all over the world. People have Bitcoin on their radar. A lot of countries, most countries probably have skin in the game in Bitcoin. We know last year when Bitcoin was doing good, when the popularity of Bitcoin, the price was high, a lot of the states in the United States were saying, you know what, we really need to have our own Bitcoin reserve as a state, whether it's California, Arizona, Texas. Let's start really looking into a Bitcoin reserve for the states. So the popularity of Bitcoin, the use case of Bitcoin, we really see some positive movements for the future of Bitcoin. Um, Cryptocurrency as a whole, altcoins as a whole, you have to be very careful with the altcoins. I posted a picture last night, yesterday in the Patreon. Over there in the DJing world, we're over there buying these plays. We see these plays down 40%, 50%. We get some skin in the game because when they get down that low, they recover. And when they recover, after you have bought them down that low, you make profits. You sell and take your profits, and then you're gone. But that is what is being allowed on some of these platforms. So you're just taking advantage of these plays. I guess it's kind of like placing a short or placing a long on any particular play. So the dynamics of cryptocurrency is all over the place right now. Clarity Act is definitely needed. When will that happen? Will it be March? Will it be April? Who knows? But probably by the end of the summer, we probably will be seeing, or probably will have a Clarity Act in hand. Once that happens, that could really line up with the continual or the start of the recovery for cryptocurrency. As Bitcoin recovers, cryptocurrency will recover, but 2026 is going to tell us a lot. Just like 2025, we saw how altcoins and how Bitcoin um, were unaligned, were no longer aligned with each other. As far as movements, Bitcoin was moving up, but altcoins were moving down, I guess you can say. Some altcoins did move up, but I guess they didn't move up as much as we would like them to have moved up. Solana moved up, hit all-time high, new high. Ethereum hit a new all-time high, but a lot of the coins didn't go parabolic like we thought that they would do and go. So a lot of things to pay attention to in 2026. I got a front row seat. Make sure you lined up right next to me. Hit the like button, get you a front row seat. Hit the subscribe button, get you a front row seat. Come on over there. Join us in the Patreon. We would love to see you over there. But like I say, I just continue to come to you guys every day just to continue to give you that good encouragement. Coming to you guys every day to give you that good motivation. And that's all I got for you on this one. It's your boy Stock Holiday. And remember, this video is not financial advice. Anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell any crypto. This video is strictly for educational and entertainment purposes only. Before investing into anything, please consult with a professional financial advisor. And that's all I got for you on this one. It's your boy, Stock Holiday, and I'm out.